Hello, 47. Waiting for your taskmaster? Well, she's not here. It's just you and I. I've been watching you, and frankly, it's been exhausting. Work, work, work. Oh, which is all you do. Well, you're in my hands now. And I'm going to show you the joy of taking it easy for once, by making it hurt when you don't. Your energy is finite, 47. So spend it wisely.
Welcome to IOI Insider and the reveal of the season of Sloth. My name is Travis. I'll be your host for today alongside Clemens.
Hey everyone.
And we're going to be talking to you about what's coming up next in Hitman 3. We've got a really strong agenda that we're going to go through in the next hour. Right now we are coming to you live from the Copenhagen studio. And it's exciting times in Hitman world, Clemens.
It is.
We've just revealed, as people have just seen, the next act of the 7 Deadly Sins DLC.
Yeah.
We are going to Dartmoor. We have the season of Sloth, which starts tomorrow.
It starts tomorrow, 3 p.m.
And there's a lot to talk about this particular piece of DLC. So that's where we're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, we'll talk a little bit about featured contracts. We'll
Yes.
talk a little bit about the season of Sloth, what's coming up throughout the month. And we're going to talk about a few other things towards the end of the show, including some Q&A as well. So we'll have time to take your questions. We have Twitch chat up on a big screen in front of us, so shout out to everyone who's watching on Twitch. But let's start, like we said, let's talk about the DLC that's going to kickstart the season of Sloth tomorrow. And this is going back to Dartmoor, but it looks a bit different.
Yes, because we have Dartmoor has been reworked into it's gonna be a little more. It's gonna look messy and dirty to fit the theme of Sloth. There's gonna be there's lazy people hanging around. It's really and it's also the time of day has been changed a bit, so
Yes.
it looks slightly different from the ordinary Dartmoor mission. And you will notice this as soon as you boot up the mission.
Yeah. You can see it here on the screen, right?
Yeah.
The main campaign mission of Dartmoor is very moody. It's very cloudy. It's very dark, even though it is still in the daytime, right? It's very brooding in many ways. But in this new escalation, which is paid DLC as part of the 7 Deadly Sins, it's much brighter. The lighting has been reworked, and like you said, the location, the environment art has also been updated, both outside of the mansion, but also inside as well.
Yeah.
You will be inside and outside at different stages of the mission, right? Of the escalation. So you're really gonna feel like it's very, very different.
Yes, and especially because Dartmoor is this very neat and very beautiful level. The mansion is like there's no dust there. It really looks. It's old, but it looks like it's so clean and it's so tight. And now it's just messed up in a very, very cool way, and you really feel that this is something different. As I said, when you boot up when you start the mission after the introduction, and you're like, okay, this is different. Yeah. It's so cool.
So that introduction.
Yes.
Should we show that now?
Yeah, let's do that because there's something there that's something new in this mission that we would like to talk about as well.
Okay, so what we're about to show you is the start of the mission. So when you play it tomorrow.
You press play.
Introduction. This hasn't been seen anywhere else, so this is world exclusive. Look at
world premiere.
It's not a briefing, but sort of the briefing.
Yeah, it's
the intro cinematic to the.
It sets the theme and the set.
Sloth depletion.
Yes.
Right. So let's take a look at that.
Check it out.
Hello, 47. Waiting for your taskmaster? Well, she's not here. It's just you and I. I've been watching you, and frankly, it's been exhausting. Work, work, work. Oh, it's all you do. Well, you're in my hands now. And I'm going to show you the joy of taking it easy for once by making it hurt when you don't. Your energy is finite, 47. So spend it wisely.
Yep, that's the introduction. And for those with the trained eye, they probably saw something new up in the upper left corner.
Yeah.
It's something that we call the vitality meter. And that is it actually counts down. The more you move, the less it will count down. So, and if it hits 0, you die.
Yes.
So it's very important that you move as little as possible in the sloth depletion.
Yeah, and that's all leaning into the whole idea that we want the seasons and we want the content. This is all about sloth, so this is about being as inactive as possible. The idea here is that it changes how you will approach the objectives. It approaches how you will change up your gameplay. Of course, the location has been altered as well a little bit, so not everything is the same. By and large, you'll sort of know your way around, but the vitality meter is going to decrease with every step that you take, and with certain actions as well. Chat is still saying crank Travis, so I think that's related to the volume. So yeah, that's what we're going to see in the sloth depletion, in the escalation that is leading the way for the DLC content this season.
We actually have some B-roll we can put on so we can show it being depleted.
And we can talk a little bit more about it while that runs.
Yes.
Because it really does change the way you play, and it's part of what we wanted the DLC to do, right? That, we said this last stream, that people will start to see the changes, will start to see the feedback implemented from this season going forward, and Sloth is definitely one way to do it.
We have some technical issues. There's no mic on that one.
So we're going to quickly add the microphone, and then we're going to run back to the gameplay, and then we'll show you.
Yeah. Because it's really cool, because it also alters how you have to play this mission. So I think it's really fun. And it's the hard time is like the first time I did, you get like to a couple of low percentages, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And you die. And now I think it should work. Yes. So actually see where I step up here and I start to walk around a bit.
So this is you playing?
This is me playing, yeah.
A few days ago.
Yeah, walking around, and you see just going around a bit, and you can see up in the left corner that it's actually slowly depleting. Now you also get a cool glance on how messy Dartmoor looks. This is not the ordinary Dartmoor.
So I'm going to say it again because we don't get to say it that often. This is world exclusive gameplay, never before seen.
It's very short, only because I didn't want to show too much.
Nope.
Because I want players to go in tomorrow almost not blind, but let's experience it for themselves. But it's just to show that it depletes quite fast.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you sprint, it of course depletes faster.
Yes. So as usual, it's a 3-stage escalation that will sort of change, and new objectives will also be added along the way too. But the vitality meter is a really, really interesting new addition to the game. It's really going to, we think, change how people will approach the escalation.
That's
and
also the idea behind it.
Yeah, it will also make it memorable. It will fit very much alongside the theme of being sloth, right? And we think in a cool way. I'm not sure how much of the objectives were seen there. I think the targets were seen. I don't know if the optional objective was there.
I think it was.
So there are ways that you can gain more vitality. Well, actually, there's one or two ways, I guess. So that is possible. Yeah.
And it also comes with 3 there's really cool sloth inspired items.
Yes, we can see some of those here as well.
Yes, you see the slapdash SMG right there. It's a very cool SMG. I really like it. And then there is the load face suit.
Yep.
Is an untied tie from 47. That's a first almost.
Terminus suit.
Terminus
I think that's my one, my jam.
Yeah.
But very, very again alongside the theme. I think also I'm not sure how obvious it was when you were showing in the gameplay, but you start sitting down,
Yeah.
which is really cool. It's like a custom starting location for the escalation in a sort of snail shell inspired chair,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And of course, one of the other items as well you saw in the announcement trailer, the Goldvik proximity mine, which is a sedative item. So that will attract guards or NPCs and sedate them when they get close by. So I think that rounds off quite nicely with, we showed the trailer, the announcement trailer. We showed the introduction as well, so people get a sense of how 47 is experiencing this sin, and a little bit of gameplay too, to give an example of what this vitality meter is, what it's all about, and basically give you a chance to see it in action, which is really, really cool. This is what we want to do on our stream. So if you have questions about it, we'll take them at the end. We have a section for questions. But yeah, vitality meter, cool unlocks, changes to the map, different environment art. We haven't shown inside the mansion, but that's been altered as well, as we said before. And you can experience it all for yourself. This is being added to the game tomorrow. We're right now technically still in the season of Pride, and we extended that for 1 day. And the season of Sloth starts tomorrow, June 15th, and that's when the DLC will be available, either individually or you can buy all 7 Deadly Sins. Sloth is Act 3, and it's all packaged together, ever so slightly cheaper if you buy all 7 together.
That's right.
So that's all coming into the game tomorrow.
Looking forward to see people play it and see playthroughs of it.
Yes,
because it's
absolutely.
going to be different fun, because you have to think of this vitality meter constantly. So look forward to it.
Yes. I can see trolls in the chat. Is Clement's mic on? Yes, it is. We can also see that. Nice try. So let's move on to talk about other things, Clemens. Let's talk featured contracts.
Yes.
That's next up on the list. So
that is correct.
Featured contracts. Last stream, we revealed that we are going back, let's say, to the Hitman community to get contracts into the game that are made by dedicated players, long-time players, creative players, as we kept getting told, the people who know the game the best.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's what we did, and they went into the game already. So can you tell us a little bit about how that was and what those contracts are?
So we also teased that we were about to, that we're going to do a slight up, change the way we pick the contracts, because as it was with Hitman 2, there was a lot of submissions. There's still a lot of submissions, and I love going through these threads. It's really cool, and there's so many good contracts that it's impossible to feature them all. But in Hitman 3, I went through, Hitman 2, I went through the game and through the threads, and I took maybe 20, 25 contracts, and then I started playing through them. And then I picked the ones going into the game. And there was I was just picking those that were fun to play. This time around, we're doing it, as I said, a little different. So what we are doing now is that we're picking a couple of contracts, and then we play them, and then we try to categorize them. So they are in different categories. So what we tried with this batch is to have like 3 very different contracts. I mean, because one of them is a more puzzle-oriented, then we have a sniper contract, and then we have a more story-driven contract. Trying to give them these 3 elements, so it's not like 3 of the same. Like we don't have 3 in Dartmoor, we don't have 3. It can be on the same location. The location really doesn't matter at this point. It's more that if it's a riddle and it's a sniper contract and so on. And so we picked some that were different, and we started playing them, and we ended up with the 3 different that you saw into the game. And when we come to questions, I will answer why there's 3 instead of 10. I see that question coming up, and we're not ignoring it. I really want to talk about it, but we'll do it in the question segments. Cool. So the communicated contract that went to the game was Pride this time, the last drop, and they are based on the first one. Let's take the first one. If we can have the puzzle one, is from Urban, who made that one. It's in Dubai. Let's see if we're gonna wait. Got it there. I have trouble saying the peak. Ingenuity, thank you. By Urban, and it caught my eye quite fast because he has a lot of cool ideas, also giving you hints on how to solve it. Because there are a lot of you need a saber, and if you want to do it how he envisioned it. And it's really fun. It can be hard though. It is quite hard one, but it's really, really cool. So we picked that one because it has this puzzle element.
Awesome.
And then we have a very cool one, and that's, this is dividing the forums, because we have, the next one is the sniper, I called it, is the Daily Exercise 47 Berlin Run by I Love Wombats, and it's a timed contract.
It's I Love Wombats 2.
2, sorry.
This is
Wombats.
not the original I Love Wombats.
I think it is. I hope it is. Oh, well, yeah, it is.
Anyway.
I Love Wombats 2, and it's...
Do you?
Yeah, I do. They are cute. You can't not like them. Anyways, this is a timed one, and I know that this divides the forums like quite a bit, because some people straight up hate them, some people love them, and somebody tolerates them. So it's like a mixed bag. And I really like this one because it made me feel like I did complete it just within a couple of seconds left. So I felt this rush of getting them. I didn't get Silent Assassin. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but you can. But it was really, really fun to play this, and it was exhilarating, but still I thought it was very manageable. And it kept the time, what's it called, it's the counter, kept me like, okay, I need to do this, it kept pressuring me. And I took a shot, I probably did it predetermined because, goddamn, I should have waited, but the timer was there to like push me over the edge, and I think that was really, really cool. And the last one, it was made by Snake Snake Yeah. And it's the Fall of the Carlisles, which it's in Dartmoor, and it takes place within the first room. If you come out from the gardens and going in, there are your 2 targets in there, and one of them is by fall damage, and the other one is explosion. And this was also a very cool, read the briefing, and there's also an extended briefing on Hitman Forum. I encourage people to read that, because it really gives you some cool ideas of the thoughts behind this, and also the story that just elevates and builds upon the story of the game. So I think it's really, really cool, and I really enjoy that as well. And again, it's easy to play, but hard to master. Yeah. I think that's the story of all of them. So I hope people enjoy it. And moving forward,
Moving forward. What's going to happen moving forward, Clemens?
I will not do this picking process alone. I will have help.
Who's going to help you?
Who's going to help me? Not going to be Travis. It's going to be some random right now. I can't tell you, but going to be developers of Hitman 3. Okay. That's going to sit down with me and play the contracts. I pick the first couple of them, and then we play them together to find the final 3 that goes into the game.
Awesome.
We're going to do a little recording, and then they will tell you the reasons, like I just did, why I picked these. They will do that the same with the future contracts.
So I know in the past, when we've done featured contracts, we've seen feedback from players. How did you pick them? And there's always been discussion, even from Hitman 2, when we did almost all I think featured contracts came from Hitman Forum, from Reddit, wherever people would submit them. Now we have a more formalized process, but people would always have discussion of, is this a good contract? Is this not a good contract?
Yeah.
I don't like this type of contract. I prefer this type of contract. And there's always been a conversation. So I think part of the goal here is for us to sort of pull back the curtain a little bit on the selection process, how we go about it. I think you described really well sort of what you've done this time, and involving some random person, or I would love at some point to get some random person. That would be great.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hey guy, pick 5 contracts. Okay, thanks. No, we are gonna have developers of the game to sit down and play the selections that you find, and have them have their input, have their say on what they think is a good contract. So that when people on the forum complain about it, we can just sort of deflect the feedback. So everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
I jest, of course, but I think it's really great that we pull the curtain back, and
we try to optimize the process and make it a little more interesting, and also for you guys to see your own contracts being played by developers and hear them what they think about them. I think that's a cool little service we can provide. I think that's absolutely really cool.
But featured contracts,
yes.
For a long time they've been, at least in Hitman 2 we introduced this concept of reaching milestone challenges where you are able to unlock cool items, cool rewards based on the amount of featured contracts that you complete. Mm-hmm. And right now in the game I think people can get up to 37. 37 is the highest amount of featured contracts you complete.
Yes.
And when we release the patch tomorrow,
this is going to be great.
When we release the patch tomorrow, everyone's getting excited.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new challenge added to the game, which is complete 40 featured contracts, which will release, or which will allow you to unlock a new item, and we're going to show you that right now. It is the ICA 19 fully automatic stealth ducky edition. Longest name of an ICA 19 weapon ever. So this is a new gun that we're going to be adding in. It's very distinct, right? The yellow color really makes it pop.
It is.
And some of the 4 comments I saw people saying was ducky gun, and that's exactly as we've been describing it. And I love when I found out that it's actually called the ICA 19 Full Auto Stealth Ducky Edition. Ducky gun was how it was known for a long time. So this is a new weapon. Well, it's the ICA 19 Ducky Edition.
We have a beauty shot of it.
We have a beauty shot of it. Okay, so we can look a little bit closer at it here, ever so slightly. And as I said, the challenge will be added to the game tomorrow. So
look at it.
You will need to complete 40 unique featured contracts. So you won't actually be able to get this bad boy until the first batch of featured contracts is added to the game.
Yeah.
Throughout the season of Sloth.
That is correct.
But you will be able to see the duck baller. I'm going to just use whatever name people call it. The duck baller. The duck baller will be in the game, available to unlock when you hit 40 unique featured contracts.
And the first batch is going to be
coming up
quite soon. It's going to be quite interesting to see as well.
Yes. Do you want to talk about submission process, how people can submit their contracts, or is that another topic?
Oh, we can just I think a lot of people here know it, but just in case no one here knows it, that is that we will some time before they have to be in the game, we will create a Hitman forum thread where everyone are invited to add their submissions. There's only actually 2 requirements. For now, the first requirement is they have to be inspired by the 7 Deadly Sins Sloth.
Yep.
However you want to interpret that is completely up to you. But it has to be fitted around that theme. And the second one is that we still want them to be on Hitman 3 locations.
Yes, that's right. So that people can play them, Hitman 3 owners can play them, not relying on the access passes to get access to feature contracts for now. That
might change down the line, but for now we want to have them in Hitman 3 locations. Yeah. And we haven't seen the full depth of these yet, so just go nuts. But this thread we will update our blog post of the roadmap blog post as soon as this thread is ready. We will also do a social post and guide people there, or else just keep an eye on Hitman Forum and it will pop up in a week or 2 time.
Yes. So there's one other thing that we can talk about now. We've done featured contracts. We want to slowly transition into the season of Sloth. What's coming up? What people can expect from the time? Oh, maybe not. The image we had just now. Yes. Is like so on July the 2nd, which is roughly halfway through the season.
Yes.
We are going to have another batch of contracts, featured contracts, that are made by Hitman community. Yes. So in the same way you just described on Hitman Forum, we just saw the link on chat, thanks to Cake and the other moderators for sort of sharing that link. I think only moderators can share links, so it's really useful that they do that. As you said, on Hitman Forum we'll have the thread. It's not there yet.
It's not there yet, no.
But it will be. Please wait for the official one. No semi-official ones. If it's not in Clemence's thread, it doesn't count. Otherwise, it's just fantastic discussion.
Because I can't look in all the threads, unfortunately.
No.
But you can start doing now. I mean, it can be created now, or you can play and test it and ask for advice and stuff like that on the forum. There's a lot of contract threads there, and also a lot of people helping people create even better contracts. So the better they are, the bigger the chance they are to get submitted into the game.
So this stream.
But just a quick FYI, just a quick one. There is a featured contracts batch before this that's not created by the community but by someone else, so you can unlock the ducky gun. Just FYI, it's not don't have to wait to July 2nd to get the gun. So just to go, as I just saw the date, might people be like, a month to use the duck gun. Yep. No, there are a batch coming before that.
So the timeline works like this: tomorrow, the patch comes, ducky gun challenge appears. Sometime before July 2nd, there is a batch of featured contracts.
Yes.
And enough of them in there so you can unlock Quackshot, Ducky Baller, ICA, FA 19, Ducky Edition.
Duck and Load.
So in theory, what you're saying is that on July 2nd, I can play those featured contracts with my ducky gun.
100% confirmed.
Great. Okay, so that clears up the timeline. Fantastic.
Yes.
Let's talk about a handful of things that are coming in the roadmap. So we've sort of done featured contracts and a lot of that, and we've told you that on July 2nd, you're going to get featured contracts by Hitman Community. There's a few other things that we want to talk about. We're not going to go into detail on them. We're not going to show pictures of them, but we're going to tell you just a little bit of what to expect because the trailer is going to drop tomorrow.
In less than 24 hours.
And we want you to be excited about that.
Yes.
So we do have, as you said, more featured contracts.
We do.
That will allow you to unlock the ducky gun, which we've already shown. We will have the DLC, which we've already shown as well.
Yeah.
The vitality meter infused sloth depletion escalation, which is part of the sloth. The names are, I'm so...
Act 3.
Act 3, I'm like, my head is like a few acts ahead and I'm trying to scale it back to where we are today.
Yeah, it is.
What do we talk about in meetings and what do we talk about on stream is like, yes, so there was a bunch of stuff we've already showed you, but we want to keep a few things under wraps. But there will be, as promised, there will be new escalation. No, there will be new elusive target.
Yes,
the
there will be a
escalation we
Hitman
talked
3
about. There
elusive
will be a
target.
new elusive target on a Hitman 3 location. And there will be a few other things in the roadmap as well that will come as a surprise to some of you. So we'll leave that there. We'll draw a line under that. And now I need to do a quick thing with Clemens and say, are we going to go here or are we going to go there?
I think we should go...
Should we do this one first?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get to the Q&A, there's just one other thing we want to touch on. And I keep saying one other thing. There's going to be plenty more things. The next thing we want to touch on is... something we introduced actually last month, where we introduced this concept of IOI Insider Extra, which was a stream that was separate from this stream, the mainstream, however you want to call
mainstream.
it. The mainstream. It's not mainstream. Like we have the IOI Insider that is about news, the IOI Insider is about announcements, reveals, world exclusive gameplay.
You saw
all
here
of that
first.
stuff that you see, right? Whereas IOI Insider Extra is a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of game development or a more casual chat about a specific aspect of something. So Clemens, maybe you can talk a little bit about the stream that we just did,
yes,
how that went, what was on it if people didn't see it relatively briefly. And then of course let's talk about what the next IOI Insider looks like.
Yes. So we last week we kicked it off with some audio issues, of course, which is a thing.
It ain't an IOI stream without audio issues.
Exactly. But I got some good feedback from community members that helped us. So that's helped me to not do that again, which was really cool. But we did a Hitman Blood Money anniversary stream actually on the day with the game director from Hitman Blood Money, Rasmus Højgaard, and we did almost a walk and talk within Hitman Blood Money. He had a lot of cool insights about how it was making the game and also how it was to make a game that's 15 years old, and also about how it was to launch a game with no social media time and stuff like that. So we had a very cool discussion and talk and just had a good time playing, and we took some questions from the community as well for you guys that was asking questions to Rasmus. I tried to take as many as possible. But we went over time, as we usually do. And he had to run to another meeting, so we had to stop.
He was literally doing the stream between meetings. Which was,
he's a very busy man. But the cool thing is that he was up for doing something else because he's like an IOI legend, so we can talk with him down the line again. The next one is also going to be super exciting. I'm looking forward to do it again without audio issues, and we're going to, it's going to be great.
So the idea is that it's going to be sort of mid-season. That's the idea between them. So it gives us a chance to reflect on the feedback. It gives us a chance to sort of, within a short period of time, detail some of the talking points, respond to what we see you talking about, what the players are talking about, and invite guests that are, relevant to those topics. It could be the DLC. It could be anything really. With anything that's going on in the game, we get a chance to see the feedback real quick and put together a schedule that will include something relevant. And usually it's going to have some gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have gameplay on the IOI Insider.
That's
sort of reserved for the extra streams.
Yeah,
right?
that is the point almost, that we can maybe play. It can be everything, right? I mean, we can play the DLC, we can play Elusive Targets with the creators of it, and they can have all. It can also just be we can also play Hitman levels with sound designers talking about how they created the soundscape for the levels. So it's very broad, and we are looking for like. It's just for us a cool window to give like a little closer look into smaller things. It can be how we made door sounds, for instance, if that's something we want to do. I mean, it can be anything, right? So this is the extra stream is a little more,
It's a bit more down to earth, right?
Down to earth.
But at the same time, it can be like you said, like the stream with Rasmus was super informative about his experiences 15 years ago making Hitman Blood Money, which is kind of hard to come by, right?
Yeah, that is
it's a nice little difference to have between the two.
Yeah, and we don't do that much rehearsal beforehand because we want a genuine talk between me and whoever is joining this. So look forward to it. It's coming later, mid-season, as we call it.
Yep.
Looking forward to do it, and hopefully, I got a new mic. I know I do have a new mic, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's see what problems we can find and make fun of after that.
Yeah.
I see someone saying I'm ripping off their podcast. I'm not. I'm sorry if you think that I don't think so, Timothy Mark.
I'm super curious what podcast that is, but yeah. All right, so let's. We've rattled through everything relatively quickly.
Yeah.
There's a ton of awesome stuff. So if you are just joining us now, we've talked a little bit about the next season in Hitman 3, Season of Sloth, which starts tomorrow. We've talked about the DLC that comes with it, the items, the guns that you get, the suit as well. We've talked about featured contracts. We've talked about the rewards you can get for them, Ducky Gun. I'm really interested to see where that lands. Right? Are people going to be calling it Ducky Gun, Quack Shot, Duck Baller, whichever one it's going to be? It's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
So we want to open up for a little bit of extended questions, more so than we've done in the past. The question section doesn't tend to be too eventful. It's usually quite calm. So let's see how it goes this time. And we tried to do an hour stream. There are a few other things that we want to leave you with, a few really, really exciting pieces of information. So let's do some questions. Let's talk about what's on your minds, and let's share some information that we have. And then we'll talk a little bit more about a few other nuggets of information as well. So we are looking. If you think we're looking into your soul, we're actually looking past the camera slightly to see the Twitch chat, which is just up above us. So let's see what we can see. Who voiced 47's handler in Sloth? I think we can reveal that a little bit after. Once you've played it, I think. It's not that it's a big surprise, but I don't have the information to hand.
I see there's a question about when is the next roadmap. It's coming tomorrow.
Yes.
So we won't show anything today, but we will go out with a bang in less than 24 hours. It will be with trailer, with static image, with everything, blog post, the whole 9 yards.
Let's talk a little bit about the not the process, but like what's going on there. So originally, what the plan is that the season of Pride was going to end on Sunday, yesterday, as we record now, and the season of Sloth was supposed to start today. That was what the roadmap said. And we needed to change that. We needed extra day because we wanted to do the patch on Tuesday. We might have Monday patches in the future, but for this one we wanted to do the patch on Tuesday, which meant that we needed to obviously move everything by a day. So what's going to happen tomorrow is that the patch will go out tomorrow, and the roadmap trailer, as we call it as well, will also go out tomorrow. That's the one with you, doing what you do, saying what the content is. That's where you'll know about the elusive target and all the other content that's coming in the season of Sloth.
Yes.
That's going to happen tomorrow. June 15 is when that happens.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen at, I think maintenance is going to start roughly 11 a.m. UTC, somewhere around lunchtime Central European time.
Yeah.
And that's when the patch notes will be up. You'll have the patch notes so you know exactly what's changing. And you will have the roadmap trailer with Clement so you know exactly what content's coming. And you'll have to go through the usual process of downloading your patch, If you do that, if you're playing on Nintendo Switch or Stadia, of course you don't have to do any downloading. You just wait for us to upload the latest version of the game and off you go and play.
And remove certain maintenance.
Yes. So that's a little bit of the plan, just to sort of tidy that up. There's also one other thing that I want to talk about while we're on questions is the Black Hat elusive target.
Yes, I saw questions about that as well.
Yes, so the short story of what happened with the Black Hat elusive target was that the elusive target contract went live without the challenge that unlocks the suit, which was a mistake. And so the remedy for that was that we took advantage of being an online game and put the challenge into the game for new players that hadn't yet completed the mission, so that the challenge would unlock and they would get the suit as normal. That's great for those players. If you were someone who already had played at least completed the contract and should have got the suit but didn't, then we are going to fix that after the target has sort of left, once the contract is done, which is now the case. And very shortly, I don't have a time frame for it, but within a day or two,
the suit just appears.
That will appear. Okay, so how is 007 going? It's not a question we're going to put in details answers to, but we focus on Hitman 3 on these streams. I know it's IOI Insider, and that's something happening inside IOI. Yes, but details on that will come at a later time. We're talking Hitman 3. But all good, all positive.
Yes. And I can just quickly tell you people why we don't feature 10, but we only
Let's do that. Feature contracts. There are only 3 now. Why is that?
And I see that question pop up multiple times. And the reason is because we have unlocks behind feature contracts now. So we don't want players to go in and play 800 feature contracts to get the ducky gun. So we're keeping them to scaling down a bit, but trying to give them more love. So that's why we're adding pictures. We're trying to do more about like the picking and getting more better contracts within the game. So we're going to have 3, but we will have more batches as well coming up.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? We wanted to make them feel a little bit more featured, basically. So that's why they have their own image now when we put them in the game, and that's something that we have to create. If it's with media or it's with the community, it doesn't matter. We want to make them feel like they're featured, so they have the right logos and stuff in there. So, like you said, so that they feel more substantial. They feel handcrafted. I see all these questions and requests about new items, and what about X item that I've always wanted, or what about this? The feedback is noticed. The feedback is seen. Some of these things have to be, there's a turnaround time, let's say. Like you've seen it with, hopefully with the feedback that was given for the greed escalation and the pride escalation of we would like to see more changes, we'd like to see different ways to play, new gameplay, stuff like that. Hopefully that turns around. So we know, and for a long time, people have been asking for new items, and this item, and what about this that I had in Hitman 2? And yes, there's a few items that were in Hitman 2, like I see it, and I know the claw hammer and I think it's the Jaeger 7, I think, or one of them, that's unattainable right now. We're working on solutions there. I'm not making any promises, but it's something that we want to do. So when we have something proper to say, we'll be able to say that's there. Yes. Okay. Yes. So I see people saying, "What about this unlock? What about this?" Yes.
I want quad ballers. How would that even work?
Quad ballers, two in each hand. Just put your finger through.
Octopus guns.
I mean, you've got 2 hands and 2 feet. Just saying.
Well, that's gonna look weird. Run around with it.
Yes, a claw hammer. Yes, that's one of them. So we know about that. Yes. Shoulder swap. Let's take that head on. Shoulder swap is not in the next patch. It's something that I know that you want. I know other people want, and it's constantly on the table and being discussed. That's what I can say about shoulder swap right now. Yes. So I'm gonna let chat digest and react. Yes. Question about the modding policy, working on it, details about it. No details to share, being worked on, yes. It takes a lot of different departments to have input to that. I'm gathering that, and it needs to be formalized. It needs to be official. So when we have something, we'll share it for sure. People asking what is on the next patch other than the ducky gun and the DLC. The roadmap trailer will tell you that tomorrow. So
suit up and get ready.
It's what you said, less than 24 hours. It's 3 o'clock, is it?
3 o'clock now is it's getting less.
3 o'clock CEST, which is if in your time zone right now, if you're watching, go back 41 minutes. That time tomorrow
is when it goes live.
Do all the math in your head. Is when you can see the roadmap trailer.
It's great.
Yes. Can you also do Hitman 2 or 1 featured contracts for the duck gun? Yes. It's all featured contracts. So complete 40 featured contracts. Get the duck gun. No, get the ICA 19 FA Stealth Ducky Edition.
Yeah.
We have to do it official.
Yeah.
Yes.
SAFAF.
Okay. People talking about all sorts of things. Oh my goodness. How long do we have? Still a little bit of time. Cool. Concept art. I see concept art discussed a lot. I know there's like I don't want to say movement, but like there's a few people. Ingvar, we see you collecting this hidden archives of concept art. And I know on a Discord chat at one point I promised some effort on my side to dig some up. I know we have some. I did some of this for the
that could
forum
also
contract ages ago.
It could also be an IOI extra stream, right? We have a concept artist in talking about cool concept art.
Could be that, right?
Sharing
Rasmus would be a fantastic person to have inside
he's hilarious.
Let's see, right? Usually, I know we are quite good for Blocktober, which is like a game dev celebration of like blocked out levels and how levels looked earlier before they were final and stuff like that. Usually we put some stuff on social.
At least once a year we do then.
So if we haven't done anything by October, we'll try and put some effort into having some concept art, either stuff that's not been seen before, something from the archives. I've actually looked through the thread that's on Hitman forum. Really extensive, a lot of stuff. I think most of it I've seen. There was a few things I haven't seen, but there's also some good stuff that's missing from there that I know exists. So I will try track it down. It's cool that you want to see concept art. I think it's really great. So let's see where it goes. But I think October is a good time to do something, blocked out levels or early ideas, or maybe break down some of the ideas that we had that didn't come into something. And I'm already thinking about some of the levels ideas from, hey, let's do a level in this location and it'll be this, and then that sort of turned into parts of another level and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, there are many stories like that. I remember
that. Providence pins, yes, that would be cool. Again, I see someone mentioning Lil Flashy, these items. Items that are sort of available or have been available at night in Hitman 3. That's on a few lists I have of what would be nice to have.
And
so
I see.
Let's try and see if we can figure something out. But again,
I also see someone asking for Providence pins on the merch store. I'm just saying it loud because someone here knows.
But let's talk about the merch store.
Yeah.
We have an official merch store. I remember doing streams from Hitman 2, and all I was told is, hey, I want to buy a Hitman t-shirt. Not that this one is this one for sale? This one's not for sale yet. Right?
Not yet.
This one's not for sale. So we have a merch store. So if you use a popular search engine and you put in IOI merch
or the store.ioi.dk,
you can find it. It is official. The t-shirt designs are designed in-house by us, and we can tell you that the link is store.ioi.dk. If our moderators can type that up for us. Store.ioi.dk, and you'll be redirected
there we go. Thanks, Cake.
A store that's either, depending on your location, and there are differences in what's in the store.
Yeah, there's the US and the European one, and they
have different things on them, and that's to do with various logistics and items and whatever else.
Yeah.
Store.ioi.dk. We have official merchandise. We have t-shirts. We have different collections. We recently had one to celebrate Blood Money, actually.
Yeah,
15
we had
years.
a sale as well there.
We have stuff from the world of Hitman, as it's called. So like, I think we have stuff like the energy drinks in Miami, the Sanguine shirt from Paris, the fashion show, what the staff wear. We have some sort of in-universe stuff. We have some classic Hitman stuff with like Hitman 3 logos.
We had some Easter
like
as well with the bunny and the hoodies.
The bunny, I have mine on my desk. Big yellow hoodie with a bunny on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. And if you see the Pride roadmap, that's the one I'm wearing.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. The Pride, not the Sloth.
Yes.
So it's not a spoiler.
So feel free to check that out. Feel
not.
free to give us feedback, talk about it, let us know if there's stuff you really want to see in the store.
And I would just want to add a quick, sorry, not to interrupt, but we do see people write on the on social media that what they want.
Yes.
And we are, I am letting them know that you guys are wanting caps and pins and stuff like that. I'm letting people know. We can't guarantee anything and promise anything, but we're letting know. But just let us know.
We're letting you know that we know what you want to see on the store.
We want to know that you know that we know.
So yes, there is a bunch of stuff on there. Some curated collections from what's relevant in the game. So check it out for some of the stuff we put on recently, and keep your eye on stuff in the future. And as Clement said, keep telling us if there's stuff that you want. We are seeing it and doing what we can to put those stuff in. I think a separate cap store curated by Clements.
Yes, I would love to.
Would be great. I think we should do that, like Clements Cap of the Month or something.
Yeah, I would love that.
Right.
I designed this myself. Just saying.
I saw somebody else saying that some of the sports team was better than that one.
Yeah,
I
Nick's
feel like such a non-person saying sports
fine.
team, but it's basketball, right?
The basketball is New York Knicks. They're not good. Bucks is cool right now. Bucks are in.
Basketball.
Bucks are in.
Okay. What else are we looking? Clements Clap Corner. Yes. Any plans to add sniper maps? No. Not currently. So the sniper assassin maps, I think there's 3. Is it 3 or 4, Clements? It's 3. It's Himmelstein, Siberia, Hantruport.
Yes.
Yeah, 3.
In wrong order though.
Himmelstein, Hantruport, Siberia.
Thanks.
There's no plans to add more than that right now. Travis really wants IOI to make a football game. Travis would love to make a football game, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, we are watching the Euros. I saw someone ask. It's completely separated. So the European Championships in football or soccer is happening. We are watching it. There's a small little tournament going on inside the studio. There was like guess the scores and who will score the most goals, and everyone submitted like their Excel spreadsheet to get points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll find out who the winner is. If it's not me, I'll be very disappointed. I also remember, massive side note, but it's something I'm proud of, is when we opened the game room in the old IOI studios, we did a tournament on a popular football game. And it's a very popular one, not the really good one that's less popular, but a really popular one. And I think it was in 2014, and I won that tournament, and we haven't done a tournament since. So the reigning 4-letter football champion in IO is still me for... I'm not going to say 9 years in a row, but... Oh wait, would it be 7? I can't do maths clearly. 7 years in a row. Technically is me, until Mauricio hears this and demands a tournament. So yes, reigning champion. I see people mentioning Pez. I like Pez. I see people mentioning Madden.
That's the wrong football, if you guess this guy.
Yes, so that's a whole nother thing. Okay, Sarajevo 6 I see people mentioning. Sarajevo 6 is still going to be on PlayStation, on Hitman 1. There are no plans to have that become anything else than that. It's contractual and okay, another one, pricing fix for DLC on Epic. Regional pricing. If you're having issues with regional pricing, please submit a ticket on our official player support channel, ioi.dk/player-support. It will have you the links there, and you can tell us about it there. We need it official. We need to know what you're seeing, we need the information. Just asking for a fix on stream, we can't help there.
Got a very good support team ready to help.
Yes. I'm also being a little bit selective about some of the questions. There's a few things that I don't have information on, and we will have something to share about it when we have something to share about it, but I don't want to add too many unknowns. So as we get into the last 10 minutes...
Dexy Barrett asks, Denmark team will win the Euro Cup, of course.
Let's see. Yes.
Yes. Let's...
What are we looking at? Already submitted a ticket. Fantastic. Then we know about it. If you've had an issue and you submitted a ticket, then that's the best that you can do. We will know. We are aggregating the issues. We have it flagged. The regional pricing is something that we can continue updating. So when we get those reports and we see a full list of report from such and such a country, the price looks too high, it should be closer to this because that's how it is on other platforms or whatever it is, then that's the best place to share. And I see Timothy say something there, so I also want to give a shout out to our support team, Simon and Adrian and Maria, amongst others, who are doing an awesome job gathering the feedback, gathering the bugs and the issues and the reports. I will also say on my own behalf, when we're in server maintenance, please don't submit a ticket because it's server maintenance. So if you know that server maintenance is happening, please check our Twitter account for maintenance times. And we're going to save us the time of having to reply to everyone saying this was because server maintenance, and we can get to other issues. So if you know the if you know there's server maintenance going on, hold back on the ticket. And I will say on that we've also updated the in-game messaging to be more clear that hey, the servers are down because maintenance, which should make it easier. In the past, it just said server error or connection error, which doesn't necessarily help.
So consider this your warning that tomorrow is maintenance day.
Yes,
there will be maintenance tomorrow.
Yes, there will be maintenance. So check the IO Twitter account, and I'm sure you do, but yes. Put the ticket submission site into maintenance at the same time. We thought about doing that, but that means other people can't submit genuine tickets, and they might not know about maintenance. So that's cool. Tomorrow is maintenance. Yes. Yes. So Count Rushmore, avoid maintenance tickets. Add a message about it directly in the game. Yes, we have that now when the servers are down. We don't have anything ahead of time. We have a few ideas to make it more visible that we're in maintenance. And mentioning one of them is, mentioning it here is one of those things.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we've talked about bonus stream, we've taken Q&A.
There we go.
Everything's falling apart behind us. What is it coming down? The comic book. Is it the comic book?
It's the comic book.
The comic book is dead. The ghost is back. Oh my god. Okay, so let's wrap up the stream with two other pieces of information that we want to share. Nothing about collapsing books. So we're gonna not take any more questions. We're gonna take 2 more topic points, and then I guess we're gonna roll the trailer one last time, right?
Yeah.
The announcement trailer. So 2 things that I want to tell you about, and I have my end of show paper. Oh my god. Not to build this up too much. So so far we've been talking about everything that's coming in Season of Sloth, which is going to run until July 19 is the end date for Season of Sloth. And I want to look a little bit ahead beyond that of some things that are coming up in the short-term future for Hitman 3. So I'm not looking long-term yet, looking relatively short-term, but after Season of Sloth, again, which ends on July 19. So the first thing is that we are adding support for more languages in the forms of subtitles. Some of you might have already seen that we are planning a release in Japan. That's also going to be a disc release, which is really cool. So we're going to have Japanese subtitles added. That's I think the Japanese one is also, we'll share the details of the countries and the platforms that these are available on. So we're also going to be adding simplified and traditional Chinese subtitles to the game as well. And we'll also be adding Russian subtitles to Hitman 3 as well. They're going to be added to the game in the summer. That's the time frame I've got right now. But for us, that most likely means in the season that follows the Season of Sloth, which ends on July 19. So when we get closer to the end of Season of Sloth, when we have the next, let's call it the major live stream, or the next non-extra live stream, whatever we want to call it, the next time that we're both sat here revealing a new season, we'll tell you more about those subtitles. So to reiterate, we're adding Japanese, simplified and traditional Chinese, as well as Russian. And I want to preface that by saying that they are not for all platforms and all regions. Some of it will be for specific releases of the game. And we'll detail that later. I just want to set those expectations now. Great. There's one other thing that I want to talk about that's also a little bit more in the future. This is again looking beyond the season of Sloth. And it's actually really exciting news because we are working on a new permanent event that is going to come to Hitman 3. It's set on an existing Hitman 3 location, and it's going to be a permanent addition to the game for all Hitman 3 owners. And we are really looking forward to talking more about this on the next episode of IOI Insider.
So not the extra stream,
Not
just
the
FYI.
extra. Again, the next time that we are sat here talking to you about a new season, about new content, about what's coming up in the game, as well as talking about the Japanese, Chinese and Russian subtitles and how you can get them, we're also going to be talking and showing and discussing, and all sorts of details are going to drop about a new permanent event on an existing Hitman 3 location that will be a permanent addition to the game for all Hitman 3 owners.
It's pretty cool.
So we wanted to give you a little heads up of what's coming beyond the season that we are talking about now. And there's one other thing that I want to say about that as well, is that we're purposefully not calling it a bonus mission, but it's something close. And we're going to reveal all of the details, and stay tuned for them, like we said, on the next episode of IOI Insider, which is coming towards the back end of July. So we'll share all of that. We will, hopefully that was clear enough. We don't want people to get overly excited or start getting bonkers, but at the same time, you know, we are working on some really cool stuff, and we want you to know that we're working on some really cool stuff. So we will, as I said, talk more about it when we are back here, and we'll have details and all sorts of information about it then.
You say our Insider in unison again.
If we did it once, that was perfect. We have nothing else to share. We've talked about the DLC that's coming out tomorrow. We've talked about featured contracts.
Yes.
We've talked about new rewards coming to featured contracts.
Can't wait.
We took a whole lot of questions. We gave some snippets of what's coming in the roadmap.
And also
and then also a little bit about what's coming a little bit more in the future as well.
Exactly.
And I would like to think that we can do that a little bit more to talk not only about what's in the immediate future, but also our plans a little bit further down the line, so that you are a little bit more tuned into the attention and the love that the developers here and basically everybody involved in Hitman are getting at.
Yeah.
And yes, announcement of an announcement is not something that I usually like to do, but I think it's important that we at least sort of look a little bit further ahead and let you know. So without further ado, Clemens, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our moderators for keeping chat
sober,
yeah, but also on point.
As
Thank
always,
you as well to Martin on my right-hand side here, who's kept all the audio updates and basically kept the stream running while Clemens and I are having the pleasure of talking to you. And the next you'll hear from us is going to be patch notes tomorrow.
It's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
Roadmap trailer, a whole lot's going on.
Yeah.
After that, Clemens is going to be back with IOI Insider Extra.
Can't wait.
Somewhere in the middle of the season. And then we'll be back talking about this new permanent event that's coming to Hitman 3
later down the line.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you very much. And we'll leave you with the announcement trailer for the season of Sloth one more time. Thank you.
Take care.
Hello, 47. Waiting for your taskmaster? Well, she's not here. It's just you and I. I've been watching you, and frankly, it's been exhausting. Work, work, work. Oh, which is all you do. Well, you're in my hands now. And I'm going to show you the joy of taking it easy for once, by making it hurt when you don't. Your energy is finite, 47.